Well, YouTube land, there's a little shot of my space I got to work on things in. Trailer next to me is uninhabited, can't be habited without major renovation, so it's going to be empty for a while. So I can do some things, and I don't disturb them. Now the guy over there, I gotta not make too much noise, try not to disturb him. I got enough driveway I can park it like this at times, as long as I'm not blocking the road through the park. And yeah, it's okay. This is all private property, and it is a one-way street, so going with the direction and flow like that, now the lane traffic's okay. Want to talk about dryers. Okay, so that dryer over there, turn you sideways, you can see the width on it. You're sideways still. Now look at this thing. Look at this crud, and it is beat up. And that little piece of aluminum duct tape had screws in it. It screws in that, holding that on because the guy messed up the clips and everything. This is from Craigslist. This guy was advertising a dryer like that, but a Whirlpool, 10 to 15 years old, 15 max, guaranteed to work for 30 days, $60 delivered with your old unit as a core. Okay, well, I found out the hard way now that my trailer has a wiring issue I need to sort out. I think that I might have to just change the plug on the floor, which no big deal. But all the dryers I've had in there now will stop making heat. I got rid of my other one because the timer was messing up, or the timer was locked solid on the timer motor. It quit making heat. Well, now I found out that the no heat issue was because you have to reset the breakers, check your plug, reset the breaker again. So I've got an issue either in the plug or maybe a wire. Maybe there's a wire underneath that has damage. I'm going to have to crawl under the trailer and check that too. But anyways, back to this. This was a guaranteed. Yeah, this guy advertised them 30-day guarantees. Well, and I called him up, and he's like, well, you have to either buy it today or wait 2 weeks, 'cause I'm getting married and I'm not going to be doing this because this is my second job. Okay. He said, well, how late can I deliver you one? And I said, yeah, 10 o'clock. I said, after 10 o'clock, don't bother. Well, this guy shows up here like 10 minutes to midnight in a Dodge truck, and he blocks the whole damn street, and I'm telling him, pull in the driveway or leave, and he didn't understand that. He sits there and leaves the Dodge diesel running, going yang, 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 and it's got no muffler on it, so it's disturbing all the neighbors. A couple people said they didn't appreciate it, and I don't blame them. I asked the guy not to do that, but he did. But this thing here is what I got, and it got damaged. They said, oh, take $10 off. Well, this dang thing, the only way it goes through my door is if you force it, because it's 30.5 inches wide, which is the exact width of that door opening there. Sorry, I'm standing in front of the swing frame. I know you're sideways again, you're upside down, but this thing here, it won't fit without being forced through there, and to get it out you have to force it. The back door's 29 inches. I told the guy on the phone that I'm living in a mobile home, had to have a dryer that fits in a mobile home. Guaranteeing me that wouldn't be an issue. He had, it'd be that depth there, which is like a 27 inch the one way, maybe 25. It'd be that size there, which has the same capacity as this king load. That's an extra capacity, but it doesn't have this depth. This is like a 1990s Kenmore, and I'm selling it off for $30. I paid way too much for it, and he bypassed the push to start switch on there. So if you turn the timer at all, or if the cat gets up there and rubs on the timer, or something falls out of the cabinet that's mounted above where my dryer goes, like the roll of trash bags or a roll of toilet paper, and it touches that timer, it turns it on. And I've had all those happen. My cat is over 25 pounds, and if he rubs his body over that because he walks on stuff, it turns on. Okay, so I had to unplug it constantly. I've got a dryer head here off of the appliance I acquired that turned out to be scrap. So I saved the timer off it because these things here, they go bad. This one here will turn, which means that little motor's not locked up. I'm sorry that it's in the shadow, it's hard to see there. But if that motor's locked up, that timer is ridiculously expensive. I mean, Chinese ones off eBay are like 60 bucks. I called an appliance store here in town trying to fix my old dryer. And I took the timer apart. The contacts were perfect, no corrosion. But the little motor that spins the timer was locked up solid. When I tried to put pliers on the gear just to see if I could free it up, the teeth shattered off the gear. But anywho, so I'm going to save this one. Here, I'm going to take it off, make sure the contacts look good. If they do and the motor's not locked up, chances are it's good. I would sell that timer to somebody for $10 with a guarantee. And to push the start switch, this actually came out of a foreclosed home, but the bottom of the dryer was very rough and it was coming apart, and it'd been in a damp basement before. But I saved the control head just to take the parts off of, and it's aluminum, so that'll go in with the other non-ferrous scrap that's hanging around. This here was out at the curb with a refrigerator, a washer, and a guy was sitting there, and he said that they worked. The fridge only worked part-time, and the washing machine I got over here, which matches it. He said they got a new washer and dryer, and the fridge had been in his garage. The fridge was full of moldy food. You don't save a fridge, it works sometimes. This here, I've got the water valves work. It fills on hot and cold. I left it plugged in, which is a no-no. Fills on hot and cold. I'm sorry, I had you all sideways still. Fills on hot and cold. And the electric pump, discharge pump, pumps it out. The little lights here, these actually light up green. If you in the sunlight with it on, you have to hold your hand over it to see it, but they actually light up. And the control knobs work, but it doesn't spin the drum, it doesn't spin the agitator. Now, I know a guy that's done some appliance repair, and before I condemn this to the scrap heap, I'm going to ask his advice first, because it's always better to ask and find out than it is to scrap something for a dumb reason. But this dumb sucker here, man, this is not what I was expecting, not what I was promised. You can see this thing's got dents and dings all over the back side of it. He bounced around in the pickup, lost all the bezels off there, dented the heck out of it. That's hot wired. Like I said, I got that one over there, so it's in the ad. If they want it, I'll take that switch out and include it with us. I'm not going to be responsible for the wiring on that. Somebody else has cut and hacked on the wires, and I'm not going to take any liability of me cutting and splicing wires. My neighbor asked me, if I would just get rid of the swing for him and scrap it out. It started breaking, coming apart. And so I said, yeah. I mean, he just had painted it to make it look more presentable, which I understand. This dryer here, though, the only problem I had with it was the start knob. It was broken. I'm sure that they were still making it work, but the only one I had was off a range, a black knob off range, but it fit the shaft, it works. Somebody could go to an appliance parts store or get one off eBay to matches. But I'll tell you what, at the $50 price I'm asking for it, most people will probably take it as it is. I am going to clean up